Like, first of all, black people can't be racist, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have. Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
And I called her as a friend, and I said, you know, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody, but you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter.
The WNBA is on fire right now, but I'm not just talking about the games on the court. Oh no, we've got legends in the mix, Sheryl Swoopes and Nancy Lieberman.
My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life. I'd rather have her in it.
And they've got some thoughts on Caitlyn Clark that are stirring up the basketball world. You're dead wrong if you thought this was just about balling on the court. Now it has become a question about respect, recognition, and, of course, a little bit of shade. Now, if you've been living under a rock, let me fill you in. Caitlyn Clark is straight up taking over the WNBA, leading the Indiana Fever, setting attendance records, and, oh yeah, Rookie of the Year? Not even a debate.
The Atlanta Dream set the record for the biggest crowd to watch a WNBA game in Georgia history.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlyn Clark effect.
This girl is breaking records every time she steps on the court. But while the world is hyping her up, it seems not everyone's ready to give her the love she deserves. Actually, it seems that Sheryl Swoopes might be the biggest hater for Caitlyn Clark. Let's see.
You asked me about Caitlyn. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? Yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlyn Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Wait. She has more to say.
Let's also talk about how much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them. But you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have. Clark right now probably takes about 40 shots a game.
Here we go.
Now, either she's completely clueless, which seems unlikely given her basketball experience, or she's spreading blatant lies out of pure jealousy, and it's time to set the record straight. First off, she tried to claim that Caitlyn played 5 years of college ball, blaming it on COVID. But the truth? Caitlyn played just 4 years, the same as Kelsey Plum, and Caitlyn smashed the record in even fewer games. Next, Swoopes says Caitlyn takes 40 shots a game. Really? The actual stat is around 19 shots per game over her career, less than half of what Swoopes claimed. Did she even check the numbers? Swoopes also actually said Caitlyn is 25 years old. Seriously? Caitlyn is only 22, and in the sports world, that's a huge difference. So, what's going on, Sheryl? The facts don't line up with your claims. Caitlyn Clark's achievements speak for themselves. Now, the most shocking part is Nancy Lieberman called Swoopes and warned her about this.
You know, there was this quote by Sheryl that said, you know, Caitlyn was, 25 years old. She was, 24 years old. She was a fifth-year senior.
Right.
She was taking 40 shots a game. Her records were illegitimate. And I got off the treadmill and I called her as a friend. And I said, you can say whatever you want. You can have your own opinion about anybody. But you do have to get the statistics right. I mean, facts matter.
If only Swoopes had taken Nancy's advice. But no, she had to go and ruin their friendship.
Well, she got upset with me on the phone. And I was like, Sheryl, I'm not doing anything to hurt you. I'm just sharing. We're talking. And so our relationship it pretty much is not happening at this point. I tried to talk to her at the Final Four.
Right.
She didn't want to talk to me. My life's going to be good or great with or without Sheryl Swoopes in my life.
And then here comes Sheryl Swoopes. She was not just going to sit and take it. She went to X and expressed her thoughts, making it clear that she doesn't want Nancy in her life either. She tweeted, "Now here you go. I get what you're trying to do with your boy, but it ain't working. You know good and well what happened. And ditto, my life is good without you too and him. You want to go there?" Sheryl Swoopes has been tweeting nonstop about this whole debate, but let's be real. none of her tweets have convinced fans that she's not jealous of Caitlyn Clark. It's not just about her pride as a former player, or that she can't handle the fact that a new generation is taking over. After all, she's shown plenty of support for other players, especially Angel Reese. So why all the shade toward Caitlyn? Recently, in her podcast, Queens of the Court, Sheryl Swoopes was dropping her thoughts, but something was missing. She gave props to the Indiana Fever but didn't even mention Caitlyn Clark. How are you going to talk about the Fever without mentioning the player that's turned them into a powerhouse?
This Indiana team, I'm going to say shout out to Lexi Hull. I'm a big Lexi Hull fan. Watch her in AU. Lexi Hull shot the leather off the ball in their game against Seattle and just couldn't miss. Kelsey Mitchell is just stroking. She is just shooting the basketball. Aaliyah Boston, almost a triple-double.
Funnily enough, she did not forget to praise Angel Reese even though she lost the match.
Before I get into that, I am going to say this. Shout out to Angel Reese, even in a loss. Listen, 20 boards.
It's crazy.
20 boards. Say what you want to say about how she's getting all these rebounds. You can get 20 rebounds. I don't care if you're rebounding your own. But the thing is with Angel just has a knack for the basketball.
Yeah, you are right, Swoopes. Angel really has a knack for basketball. She might have even found a hack to increase her rebound stats. Just rebound your own layups. Well, Stephen A. wasn't having it, and neither was Nancy Lieberman, who jumped into the mix and pointed out that you can't just leave Caitlyn out of the convo.
So no Caitlyn Clark. Sheryl Swoopes. No Caitlyn Clark. Respectfully, Sheryl Swoopes, you have any idea how that makes you look? You just accidentally left Caitlyn Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
Now, Sheryl wasn't about to take that lightly. She clapped back hard, calling Stephen A. a coward and defending her right to highlight whoever she wants. She said you talk about whomever and whatever you want to on your podcast, correct? So why can't I? Also, did you listen to the entire episode? Nope. I have a personal relationship with these players, and they deserve recognition as well. But Stephen A. Smith made it pretty clear this ain't about personal relationships. It's about giving credit where it's due.
Yes, I did listen to your entire podcast. You didn't mention Caitlyn Clark. All I'm going to say is it was pretty damn immature to come back at me like that. Called me an effing coward because I called you out for not doing your job?
Stephen A. has been out here calling for everyone to recognize the revolution happening in women's basketball. While many agree with him, there are also some people like Sheryl Swoopes who acknowledge the league but completely ignore some players. Because of Swoopes' behavior towards Caitlyn Clark, WNBA removed her from the broadcast crew for the Indiana Fever versus Dallas Wings game. Swoopes was replaced by Nancy Lieberman, who had to say this about Caitlyn Clark during the match.
What Caitlyn Clark has done for the game is generational, and I just, as a baller to a baller, I just want to say thank you to you, Caitlyn Clark.
Absolutely.
For just lifting our game up, you and so many great players. But what you're doing, you're going to make all these women multimillionaires one day, like Tiger did, like Michael Jordan did. And we shouldn't hate on her. We should celebrate her, not tolerate her.
Swoopes once again took her shot at and called out Nancy Lieberman, she took to X and taunted Stephen A. Smith, claiming he conveniently did not question Nancy's take on the Kennedy Carter incident. You know, when Kennedy pushed Caitlyn Clark with her shoulder. And just like that, Swoopes took her shot, calling out Lieberman for her aggressive statement. Swoopes tried to make it a big deal, but Nancy made everything clear already.
And you know me, I'm straight from New York, straight from Rucker Park. I said I would have
Yes.
gotten up, I would have walked up to whoever did that to me, I would have punched him in the face, and you know the expletive that I used. And I would have said,
Yes.
you know, F off. That is who I am.
Then, Swoopes shared a shocking tweet in which she mentioned that a fan actually got a threat call from one of Caitlyn Clark's fans. She even tagged Stephen A. and Lieberman, blaming them for stirring the pot and pushing things to this level. She even mentioned the number of the caller. However, she deleted that tweet later. The tweet was, "This guy just called me and threatened me. Not sure how he got my number, but this what y'all want to do? His number is 76." She didn't spill the details of what was said during the call, but the fact that she posted the caller's number and went public right away suggests it wasn't exactly a friendly chat. If Swoopes is speaking the truth, then that fan took it too far. But blaming Stephen A. Smith and Lieberman is not the right thing. I mean, it all actually started when she refused to correct her mistake, even though Lieberman called her and told her to just come clean. Well, Sheryl didn't quite see it that way. She didn't publicly apologize, but did mention that she reached out to Caitlyn, who, being the class act she is, graciously accepted. But Swoopes just had to go and leak the chats. This is what she said to Caitlyn in her messages. "Hey Caitlyn, I wanted to personally reach out to you and say I made a mistake on what year this is for you. COVID year has me all confused. LOL. I also have nothing but respect for you and your game, and appreciate your skill. Congrats on everything you have accomplished thus far. Be blessed." Caitlyn replied, "No worries at all. I really appreciate you reaching out, and there's no hard feelings. I appreciate all you have done for women's basketball and for inspiring girls like me and building the foundation and platform we have today." To which Swoopes said, "You're very welcome. I really appreciate you and your game. You are taking it to a whole new level. Keep being great. Have a blessed night." If she insulted Caitlyn in public, then she should have apologized to her in public. Unlike Swoopes, Nancy Lieberman has been vocal about Caitlyn Clark's impact on WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark has just caught the attention of the world. She might be right now, maybe her and Simone Biles, the most visible women athletes in the world right now. And this is a good thing for sports. And internally, we can be women. We could be our worst enemies. We should embrace people who take us to another level. And she's done that, and it's proven from her collegiate days with TV, with jersey sales, with arenas being filled. Why wouldn't you want to ride that train to success? Because it will change your tax bracket, incrementally because of what she's doing.
This really means a lot when it comes from a legend like Nancy Lieberman. Inducted into the Hall of Fame back in '96 for her elite contributions to women's basketball, Lieberman has seen it all in her 66 years. And now, there's zero doubt in her mind that Caitlyn Clark is changing the game as we know it right now. She also mentioned that it would have been beneficial for the WNBA if they had included Caitlyn Clark in the 2024 Women's Olympic basketball team.
She very well could have played and should have played. In my opinion, I align with you on Team USA. For Caitlyn and the Fever, I think 5 of the highest rated games this year have all been Indiana Fever. They lead in jersey sales. They lead in attendance. Any significant category that's tied to dollars and cents. And that's how we should be viewed, dollars and cents, because that's how you build a business. Then everybody goes up and everybody is successful together.
Stephen wanted to get straight to the point. He asked Nancy what's the real issue some folks have with Caitlyn Clark. Most people can't deny her greatness. Her impact on the game is obvious. Even Dawn Staley gave a shout out to Caitlyn for what she's done for women's basketball.
And I want to personally thank Caitlyn Clark for lifting up our sport. So Caitlyn Clark, if you're out there, you are one of the GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
But there's still this group that's holding back their support and saying negative stuff about Caitlyn even though everything is right in front of their eyes.
Now you have signature shoes for both men and women because of what MJ did. and how he and his team constructed business. Caitlyn is doing that right now, and she should be supported and not maligned for that.
Nancy didn't hold back on the facts. She clearly stated that Sheryl Swoopes or anybody else has no reason to hate Caitlyn Clark. Caitlyn hasn't given any reason to anybody to feel that way.
But she's not doing anything to hurt Sheryl Swoopes. She admires Sheryl Swoopes and the Maya Moores and the Sue Birds and the legends that came before her. And I would dare say you can't find a soundbite this season of Caitlyn Clark saying anything derogatory about anybody. She says, I don't care that she chatters on the...
Sheryl Swoopes, as a WNBA veteran, should be lifting up the next generation of players, especially rookies. Caitlyn Clark is hands down the Rookie of the Year, not because of anything other than her pure dedication and hustle. An ace is an ace, period. Now, Nancy Lieberman, that's the kind of voice the WNBA needs at the top. She's lived the game, knows the history inside out, and has a clear vision for its future. She gets it. Celebrate the wins, embrace the opportunities, and push the league forward. I would like to see her be the commentator in the Fever games. What about you guys? Tell me in the comments.
And I would like to thank the Wings and Bally's for putting me on the game and asking me if I would do it. I will do anything for women's basketball. I'm just a servant leader here. At one point in my career, I wanted to be the greatest of all time. And now I just want to be a great, person that supports this generation of greatness.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Dribble, and I will see you guys in the next video.